She bought it from my cousin. So that's my sister's new car.
Which bought from my cousin?
Which she bought. Which she bought from my cousin. Correct. Number 7, Nicholas is too young to drive a car. So what will you say? Nicholas here
is not all.
Yeah, it's not all.
Drive a car.
Yeah, it's not all. Ahorita más ahí. It's not all. No es lo suficiente mayor para manejar un auto. So it's not all. Isn't all. One word. Nicholas isn't all. Da, da, da. A word.
Enough.
Hey, yes, isn't all enough. No es lo suficiente mayor para manejar una. Exacto. Isn't enough. Isn't all enough. Number 8. My brother is more generous than my sister. So what we say? My sister is less
Generous.
Less generous. Generous. Then that is correct. I'm going to spend. Oh, that's the person who lives. Where many people isn't as helpful as. Shall I? Can I? Should I? Which she but isn't all enough. Isn't all enough. Enough. Yes, on or less generous. Generous. Then, all right. And okay, as you can see, we are not going to be able to continue this session. We are going to do it after the break. So, break time. Time for break. Yeah, are you hungry, everybody? Yes, I know. I me too. I'm also hungry. So let's have breakfast, okay? So 30 minutes for you to have breakfast to eat something and drink something, and then we come back and just be on time. Okay, enjoy your breakfast. See you in 30 minutes. See you later. Enjoy.
See you.
Right. It's different. Let's go with what I think is can be different.
Balcony.
Why?
Because it's a place of a building.
Yeah. And what about the others? Maybe town is a place where people live. Country is another place for people where people live. Suburbs is also a place for where people live. But balcony is just part of a house. Yep. Number 7, stay in shape, get along, keep in touch, make up. What do you think? Can be different. I don't know. What about if I say
is stay in shape?
Yeah, stay in shape. Why?
Because it's not a relationship.
It doesn't talk or it is not connected to or connected with relationships. Get along and keep in touch and make up. We talk about relationship. Number 8, roof, terrace, basement, pedestrian area, and first floor.
Pedestrian area.
Why?
Because it's not a place in a house.
Yeah, it's not part of the building or it's not part of buildings. It's just a area that is outside the house. It's in a public place. It's in a bike lane or road or railway. How we call it that too. Perfect. Great. Let's go on. We are about to finish. Let's go to number 2. More about vocabulary. Number 2, we need to match here the words with the definitions. Another technique for learning more verbs, words, and also adjectives. Here, we need to just connect with, the words with the definition. The first definition says, a part of a building that is below the ground. What is it?
Basement.
Basement, correct. 2, comfortable and warm.
Cozy.
Cozy, by z, cozy. Yeah, right. Number 3, a large store with different sections.
Department store.
Department, it's like E, department store. 4, does not enjoy being with other people.
Unsociable.
Unsociable. Correct. Number 5, a person's mother and father.
Parents.
And you say parent. 6, worried and afraid.
Anxious.
Anxious. Yes. 7, have a friendly relationship.
Get along well.
Get along well. And 8, a line of cars that is not moving.
Traffic jam.
Traffic jam.
Traffic jam. That will happen in every country called it traffic jam. It's like a congestion where a line of very like long, a line of cars cannot move for a long time. That is a traffic jam. And get along well. Anxious, parent, unsociable, department store, cozy, and basement. All right, next one, more about words and verbs. Number 3, in this part, we need to choose the correct options to complete the sentences. So what is it that we have to do? And we need to choose the right options. It can be A, B, or C according to the context. Number 1, it's a question. Can you
Introduce.
Letter C. Introduce.
introduce me? Let me introduce you, or let me introduce to you. You say, let me introduce, right? Introduce me to your cousin, Sarah. Yeah. Number 2, I met
my girlfriend at a party.
I met my girlfriend at a party. Number 3, I enjoy working here as my
Letter A. Colleague or
College.
colleagues, as my colleagues. And 4, my team played very badly and
Lost the game.
lost the game 4-0. 5, I've invited all my
Relatives.
Relative.
relatives. Yeah. Number 6, I usually
Get together with my friends on the weekend.
together with my friends on the weekend. That's another phrase. You know, get together with, get along with, and met, introduce, or this one. Number 7, he was late for work as he
Missed
missed his train. And 8, my apartment is on the top
Floor.
on the
floor.
floor. It means the last part. Top is above. Bottom is down. Yes. Okay. Now, the last part. Don't forget about them. In this last part, we have an email that we're going to do right now. This and we're more like complete now. And this is a very short email. We need to complete with the words basement, helpful, first floor, apartment building, etc. Can you try? Let me give you 1 minute or two. Read and complete this email. Okay, can we check? Um, Sindel, do you finish? Can you read the whole email so that we can check together? All right, you start.
Oh, teacher?
Sure.
Yeah. I have the keys to my new place. It's on the first floor of a large apartment building. It has 2 bedrooms, so it's pretty spacious. There's a basement in the parking lot of the building where I can leave my car. It's really convenient. My next door neighbor seems nice and really helpful. He's offered to carry my heavy boxes on moving day. Can you help to
And all right. Thank you. See, that's right. So, and this is a very clear example of how an email looks like. Now, let me ask you a question. So we finished this time with this part. So, how often do you write emails? Everybody, how often do you write emails? Or you never have you ever written an email before? Let me ask somebody else. I mean, Alberto, how often do you write emails?
Not much. I don't write emails.
Never?
Maybe never.
Yeah, all right. So what about the others? Do you write emails? How often do you do it? Let's go with, I don't know, let me ask Gabriela. How often do you write emails?
Always, because I need to send an email for my work and maybe for the university.
Yeah. And who do you write to?
And I am start with there.
I mean, who do you write to? To your parents, to your boss, to your friends, to your
Contact to the company.
yeah, to
the proveedores.
Yeah, to the company, to customers. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Have you, and let me ask another question. How often do you write personal emails? And now, maybe you have an idea on how to make or how to write an email. So we're going to see some tips that we can follow how to write a very complete and very clear email. So it's going to be very understandable for readers. But in this case, let's see, and let's try to see what we can use to write an email in English. So now go back to page 36. So in this part, we are going to be focused on how to write an email. And I know that is easier to write. I mean, it's easy to write it in a paragraph, but there's some things that you should consider when you write an email. So first of all, let me show you the first example of an email. So, but let's try to guess what is this email about. What's happening right there? Look at the picture. Look at that woman. Maybe maybe she wrote an email based on this picture. What happened? All right, so look at this email and let's try to read all together. And we are going to answer the following questions. I mean, here we are going to read about Jasmine, because Jasmine is the one who wrote this email. To whom? To Pete. The subject is about news. The subject means what is the topic? What's the reason for writing the email? It's about news. It's about your vacation. Maybe you're going to write an email about your telling story and how was your day, your last vacation, your birthday party. So it depends. So here you need to write down that's the subject. But now let's start reading this email together and let's see what happened. What is Pete going to do, and why has Jasmine moved? Because I think she's moving, right? She's gonna just move to another house, another place. But let's see what happened. All right. I am going to ask someone to read this aloud. I think it's going to be asked to Nicole. I got to Nicole, right? Nicole Guerra. Can you please read this email aloud so that we can see what it is about, and we are going to discuss how they are structured. Okay, you start,
Okay.
Nicole.
Okay, teacher. Hi, Pete. Great to hear from you. Sorry for not reading sooner, but I've been really busy. That's fantastic news about your masters. You're so lucky. Village is such a beautiful city, and the university is great. I'm sure you did really well. You've always been hardworking. Don't forget to have some fun too. So, when do classes start? Have you found a place to live yet? Anyway, I have some great news too. Did I tell you I applied for a job in San Francisco a few months ago? Well, I got the job. I'm an assistant website designer. It's much more interesting than my old marketing job. And San Francisco's an amazing place. I only got here last week, but, but I've already found a really good apartment to rent. It's not as big as my old place, but it's very bright and modern. I can get downtown where I work and in under 10 minutes. Convenient. Why don't you come to San Francisco for vacation this summer? I'd love to see you and we could explore the city and enjoy the nightlife. By the way, do you remember Ruth Taylor from high school? Well, she works here too. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I saw her on my first day in the office. She's just as funny as she was when we were in high school. It's so nice to have someone at work I already know. Speaking of work, I better get back to it because I have a report to finish by tomorrow. It's only my first week and I'm already pretty busy here. Hope to hear from you soon. Lots of love, Yasmin.
Thank you, Nicole. So that was very clear. Okay, the question is for you, everybody. Now, what is happening with Jasmine? What's happening with Jasmine? What is she doing? What is she doing?
She's working in San Francisco as an assistant website designer.
Yeah. And the next question is, what is she going to do? Everybody? What is she going to do? Or what is she doing right now? She is, look at the picture. She is, she's moving to a new apartment. That's what she is doing. She's moving to a new apartment. Do you know why? Why is she moving to a new apartment?
Because she got a new job in San Francisco.
For work, to study. Exactly. All right, now, exactly. So that's why she's moving to other things. Now let's go with Pete. Who is Pete? Who is Pete? What's the relationship between Pete and Jasmine? Are they friends? Are they relatives? Or it's not mentioned?
It is an old friend.
An old friend. Yeah. All right, the question is, what is Pete going to do in Ray Lake? What is she going to do there? What is he going to do there? What is Pete going to do in that place? Is he going to work?
He's going to do his master's.
Yes, he's going to study for a master's. He's going to study for a master. That's right. Now the question is, why now? Why has Jasmine moved to San Francisco? Why did she move there? You already mentioned. Because, Fiorella?
Because she got a job as an assistant website designer.
Yeah, look at it. Yeah. Will you do that? Will you do it? Will you move for work? I will do it. So she has a new job to work as an assistant. Right, but she's going to be working. So why not moving? That is good. Now let's go to point number 3. Now let's see how this email is organized. Look at these numbers that you have in each paragraph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this email is divided, or yeah, into 6 different paragraphs. So the question is this one. We're going to match this different paragraph from 1 to 6 with the email functions. In which part we are inviting? In which part we are inviting someone, or we are trying to invite someone, or we are inviting? In which paragraph? You can go back and check the email.
Paragraph 4.
What does it say? Fiorella, can you read it aloud, please? Number 4.
Why don't you come to San Francisco for vacation this summer?
Yeah, right. I am inviting. I'm not saying I invite you. I said, why don't you come? It's like I'm trying to give you like a proposal and trying to convince you and trying to persuade in a way that, why don't you come? Why don't you do this? So when you come to San Francisco for a vacation this summer, I love to see you. And we could explore the city and enjoy the nightlife. That is an invitation. I am inviting someone. So the next word, giving news. In which one I give news?
3. The number 3.
Yeah, Mary, can you
I
read?
have some great news.
Yes, this one. Yeah. I have some great news. And then I start telling the news. Did I tell you I applied for the job in San Francisco for a few months ago? Well, I got the job. I'm an assistant website designer. And so you start telling the news. Yeah, all right. So we tell the news. Okay. And which one? Explain and listen to the email.
Number 6.
Number
6 is speaking of work. I'd better get back to it because I have a report to finish by tomorrow.
Here, I mentioned a reason to end the email, right? So it means that you are going to say yes, trying to close or end the email. Why? Because I have to go back to it because I have to report to finish by tomorrow. I'm going to be busy, so I better end the email. In which part I open comment? Opening comment. In which part I am opening comments?
Number 5.
Number 5. Are you sure? Or number 1?
Number 2. Number 2.
Yeah, it will be good. Yeah, in a way, just trying to do this. Yeah. Number 1, it could be the one. Number 1, let's read number 1, and because it's like this. Great to hear from you. Sorry for not writing sooner, but I've been really, really busy. So I'm trying to just open the paragraph by giving some comment about, because, you say, I've been really busy. So it means that I am going to explain what I've been doing. Yeah, and then what comes next? Responding to the news. Here is where I just respond to the news because that's the subject. Say, and you try describing, yeah, you're so lucky. You say this one, and you start describing and giving your comments and responding to the news using this way too. All right, and the last one, giving more news. It's mostly at the end.
Number 5.
Yeah, by the way, do you remember the Ruth Taylor Morphosite School? This is just an extra information and extra news I want to tell that person. It's like an extra news I have for her. Yeah, all right. So how can we write it? And in this case, each one of you is going to create your own email. But this time we are going to do it in a more informal way. So when you are going to write an informal email, because it's not the same if you write to your boss, to your company, to your customers, it's better that you do it in a very formal way. But this time we're going to be focused on an informal email. So when you write informal emails to people we know well, who do we write emails to? in this case, informal emails are for people we know well, such as friends, family members, and colleagues. We use contractions like it's or can't. Instead of saying it is, we say it. Instead of saying cannot, we say can't. Use complete sentences like, great to hear from you. Sorry for not writing sooner. Can't wait to see you. Those are some informal phrases that you can include. And also informal greetings and endings. Well, I say, hi, hello, how are you? How are things? How's everything? Or you say, hey, what have you been up to? So, or see you soon, all the best, and take care. Those are phrases that you can only use in informal emails. Later in the next coming lesson, you're going to write formal, but now let's go with the informal way. And also, how can we start a paragraph? You start a new paragraph for each new topic to make your email easy to read. So you get to the point, get to the point, get to the point. So you make it informal, right? Exactly. Now, let me just show you some tips, or let me show you the next email that we are going to analyze it. Okay. So what is this one that we have to do? We have another email that we should. Okay, look at this. This is the reply to Jasmine's email. So what is it that we have to do? But before we order this email, look at this word that we are using. Anyway, so, speaking of, by the way, or in other words, so, or that's why, apart from that. So we're going to be focused on this word too. So what is the first part of the email? Yeah, they say, great to hear from you. Really happy you're enjoying your new job in San Francisco. What comes next? What will be the next sentence? Any idea? Maybe I need to start. I'll open some comments, and I'm gonna say like this. So, and have you made any new friends there yet? Then I'm going to start with the next part. What will be the third sentence? The third part. Or do you think I should start with another sentence, another question?
Anyway, I have some great news.
Anyway, I have some great news. Do you remember my British cousin Mo? And now what comes next?
Well, he's getting married in Brenton in March.
So, well, in this part, you are trying to explain what exactly is exactly happening or going to happen, or what's been happening in those times too. All right. Or what are their plans, or what plans they're going to be describing to, and what comes in the part in number. What comes next? Number 5. Again, here I give my personal, like, let's say, comments about this. Yeah, speaking of invitation, I love to visit you in San Francisco. How about the first weeks of July? Here, I am trying to invite her, right? How about, or why don't you come? Or how about the first 2 weeks of July? All right, so in this one, I'm trying to just talking about inviting someone. You say, speaking of invitation, I love to visit you. So I want to visit this one. Yeah, how about the first one? Yeah, I'm trying to give some proposals and when I should visit that person. And what comes next?
By the way,
it comes like this. And by the way, why don't we get together with Ruth Taylor for coffee in the come? So After the proposal comes the invitation. And the last one is gonna be like this. You just say goodbye, or yes, end the email. Say, anyway, I have to go. I have to go. I have a meeting with my advisor in 20 minutes. Speak soon. Don't forget, let me know about your life. So this is how an informal email looks like. So what expression do you use to write emails? And it says like this. When we are going to write informal emails, we can use an informal markers or informal connectors. Let me show you them. They are like this. And let's look at these words that you have. I mean, look at the words involved below. Like anyway, so, speaking of, by the way, and so on. Which two have a similar meaning? Which two words have a similar meaning? Anyway, so, speaking of, by the way. Let's see the differences. All right, this is the most common words that we use in informal situation. Yeah, mostly and even more in informal emails, informal writings are used now. Listen, we are going to use informal discourse markers to link. The main reason of using these words are to link ideas and help the reader understand the organization of our ideas. We can also use these informal spoken English. Yeah, you can use it when you talk, when you speak, or you're talking with friends or an informal situation, we use all of those linkers, like anyway, so, by the way, speaking of, etc. So when you want to change the subject, what does change the subject mean? Change the subject in Spanish, right? When you're just talking about, let's say, talk about something, you're telling the news, and then you want to talk about movies, and that is changing the subject. You're talking about another thing, another maybe another information that you maybe comes to your mind. You say, anyway, comma, I have some great news to you. Or so, when the classes start. So both words have the same meaning. These words are used to change the subject, right? Yes. And now, what about if you want to introduce a less important subject? You say, by the way, do you remember Ruth Taylor from high school? You are introducing a less important subject. You say, by the way. And what about if you want to return to the subject? Like, you want to return to talk what you were talking about previously. You might be able to say this one, speaking of. For example, it's so nice to have someone at work I already know, period. Speaking of work, I better get back to it. So what does it mean? You want to keep talking about work. You say, speaking of work, I better get back to it. So we're going to use these two, 5 or 4 words to link ideas and help the reader understand the organization of our ideas. And you are going to do it only in informal situations. They are not so informal, but you can, it's more appropriate if you use in an informal situation, right? Yes, now let me just give you the prompts. I'll give you some sentences. What I want you to use this word to include in these sentences. Point number 8. I want you to read each sentence and I want you to complete with these linkers or makers. Let's call this maker. Let's call linkers. So anyway, by the way, speaking of, let's go with number 1. There's a new department store near my apartment, period. Which is the linker I should use? Any idea? What about if I say speaking of? Yeah. Speaking of shopping, have you heard about that new online store? So why am I using speaking of? Because I want to return, I have return to the subject. Because of the first idea and the first situation, I'm talking about shopping. Now the new apartment, that's the new apartment store near my apartment. So I'm talking about yes, shopping. So yeah, speaking of shopping, have you ever heard about that new online store? You want to return and to talk about the same subject. So that's why I say speaking of. Remember, we always use after a period or before the main idea. What about number 2? Important news. Jamie just moved to Boston because he got a new job with the Boston Globe. With the Boston Globe. What does it say here? Which word should I use?
So,
Yeah. Are you sure?
Anyway,
Yeah. What about if we just went to talk to, maybe I want to introduce a less important subject. But because that's what I'm doing over here. What I'm going to say is, what I'm going to just mention is not that important, it's like less important. Because the most important thing over here is just the important news is that Jamie has just moved to Boston because he got a new job with the Boston Globe.
so,
by the
Mm, what do you say this one?
Anyway,
By the way. Porque lo que voy a mencionar luego no es tan importante con lo que dije al principio. By the way, de hecho, he started playing soccer. So this one, talking about this one. By the way, he has started playing soccer. What is the most important thing? Porque ¿cuál es lo más importante acá? Que él tiene un trabajo. All right. De hecho, by the way, de hecho, él empezó a trabajar, ha empezado a jugar fútbol, que es menos importante que el trabajo que tiene. Ahí donde usó. De hecho, dice, by the way, I'm talking about this one too. Number 3, I'm not really enjoying my job at the moment. What will you say? So, or you can say anyway, but we always use a comma, don't forget. Yeah, so, or anyway, how did your exam go? O también, anyway, ya que ambos tienen el mismo significado. So, or anyway. ¿No? Entonces, ¿cómo te fue? So, how did your exam go? Number 4, I'm hoping to get a job soon so I can share an apartment with some friends. What will you say? By the way, anyway, or speaking of. What about if we say speaking of? Because I'm going to return to the same subject. Here, yeah, because I'm talking about the shared about apartment with some friends. So you say, speaking of housing, have you moved yet? Hablando de casa, ¿no? Hablando de casa, ¿te has movido ya? Have you moved yet? All right. Yes, because here we are talking about house. I mean, how you get a new job? Yes, so I can share an apartment with some friends. And in Spanish, we always use, you're talking about, right? Let's suppose that you are talking about You know, it's like this. You're talking about food with your friends. And say, hey, and my lunch was delicious. And the next person says, hey, talking about food, what are you going to do? What are you going to cook? What are you going to cook tonight? Yeah, all right. Let me give you this one so you can see this one. You say, and hey, it's new, right? Okay, let me this one. Today's lunch was delicious. Or yeah, today's lunch was delicious. I'm going to thanks to mention, right? And the next person going to say this one. So, and I want to, that's the first idea, right? Today's lunch was delicious. But now I want to keep our return to talk about the same idea. And now I go, you say, speaking about food, because I wanted this one too, right? Because I am talking about food, I was talking about food. So I'm not gonna say like this, speaking about food, comma, always use this one, right? Comma. And what are you going to cook tonight? So that's the use of this word when we are going to talk about speaking up. When you want to mention or keep talking about the same idea or the same that you were talking, because you were talking about here and talking about lunch that was delicious. So you want to keep still talk about food again, right? So this one refers to what you or what I was talking about previously. And you want to continue talking about the same thing. You say, and you might use this one. You can say speaking about, or it's better, but it's now using this here. Speaking of. This is another another words. The basic is just the same. All right. So you can use one of these two words to keep moving on. All right. Now that is something that you should consider or take into consideration when you are going to link ideas or connect your ideas in a more understandable way. But in this case, you are going to be focused on informal, in an informal way. So this is what I want you to do for next class. This is going to be your homework for next class. I want you to create, you're going to listen, you're going to think of a friend or a family member who recently gave you some news. It could be anything. You can just create or just organize your ideas. So after you think of a friend or family member, you need to plan. You're going to just make plans how to respond to the news. You need to decide what news you like to give and invite him or her to do something. All right. So this. Okay. So after you have this, you have organized the first idea, this first step, which is this part A. You are going to write you are going to write an email, but in this case, you're going to write it in an informal way. Okay, you have this example for forget to use these linkers like this. How you're going to start? You always start with a subject, don't forget. Then you start saying hello, you start greeting, how are you, how's everything? And then you start opening the email, all right? And then you start telling your news, right? So you might use this word like this. Anyway, or you can use this question to make invitation. Why don't you do this? Why don't you come over here? It's so, all right? Or, by the way, speaking of, and don't forget to say goodbye, and don't forget to just close your email in this way. So you have this as an example for you to help you organize your ideas, to help you and piece of writing, your informal email. So you decide, okay? Feel free to choose any kind of news that comes into your mind. It doesn't matter if you're going to write it true or false, but the idea is that you create your own ideas and your minds and you write your email. Okay, that's the first homework for next class. And also don't forget about your workbook, front unit number 4. You upload it on Google Classroom. And I'm going to assign you the next task and on Richmond platform for you to be doing. All right, that is all about unit number 4. It was nice, and let's keep moving now. And let's start with the next unit, which is unit number 5. So that was all about unit number 4. Maybe you have any question or comment, any suggestion, let me know. And is there any question, any comments that maybe you want me to know, want me to answer? I will be glad to answer. I will be glad to help you. But anyway, if you have any comment or question you want me to know, yes, let me know in the groups. Or maybe you have some problems during doing your workbooks, or maybe just something, yes, let me know so that we can clarify our doubt. So let's continue. And this is gonna be another topic. So let's change the subject. So let's change the subject, everybody. What is it that we're gonna be doing now? All right. Ready? Ready now. Let's share my word with you. Listen. Okay, close your books, please. Close your books. I'm going to close your books for a few minutes, please. Close it and everything. And look at me and look at my board right now. And I'm going to write down the first word. Listen, I am going to write down the first word on my board, and you are going to tell me, I'm going to give you, let's say here, 1 minute for you to write down the word, ideas, or phrases that comes into your minds when you hear or you see this word. What comes into your mind when you hear or see this word? This word, money. What comes into your mind? You got 1 minute. 1 minute to think about. What comes into your mind when you hear this word? There you are. Money. Any phrase, any word, any experience maybe, or any anecdote has to do with money. 1 minute. Think about it. Okay, ready? So any volunteer, what comes to your mind when you hear the word money? Anybody? Or Fabia?
Stability, teacher.
Stability. Yeah, good. What about the other? Yeah, one word. Good. What about the other? What comes to your mind when you hear the word money? Alberto?
Work.
Works.
Work hard.
Sorry? I mean, that's work. Yeah. Works, work, stability. What else comes into your mind? Anybody? And Solange, what comes into your mind when you hear the word money? Money. What comes into your mind? That is the topic, or that's the thing that we are going to be discussing about in this time. Okay, money and shopping. Now, all right. Let me ask a question. Do you think money? Okay, this guy, I want you just to give me your own opinion about. Do you think money can make us, or let me ask this question. Do you think money can bring happiness? Yes or no? Do you think money can bring happiness? Or do you think money can bring us happiness? Do you think we are happy if we have money? Yes or no? If you say yes, tell us why. 1 minute for you to think. Do you think money can bring us happiness? Yes or no? Okay, who's ready? Anybody who wants to answer this question? Do you think money can bring us happiness? Or do you think we can be happy with money or no? Or you think it's a hard question? That is what maybe, okay, this question is going to be taken with you, and you're going to reflect this question at home, and next class you're going to tell us and share with us about this. Can money bring us happiness? Why and why not? Okay, this question I'm gonna be answer for all of us and share and next. Okay, so reflect and think about this question. What do you think about this? And I got some question for Nisa, says like this. When I hear the money, I think of shopping, paying taxes. Paying taxes, huh? Hard work. Personally, money doesn't make me happy, but it is. It is a help when I want a house or a good education for my children. That's right. What about the others? Fiorella says it makes us live comfortable, not worrying about money. Nowadays is a relief. Yeah, what about the others? Do you think money can bring us happiness or no? Why there are people that are very, very rich and they are not happy? So the question is like that. So I want to hear your own opinion about if money can bring us happiness, yes or no. So we're going to just practice this together. Okay, next class. Now, this topic is going to be very interesting because we are going to talk about money. Money is everything that everybody wants to have, you know, and also shopping. Everybody wants to go shopping and to spend a lot more money on it. Okay, this is the topic that we need to discuss now. Now let's start having and discussing and talking about this word. What does spend mean? In your own word, how would you define? Any idea? How do we define the word spend? What does spend mean? Any idea? Spend. Is it like spend time with friends? I don't think so. But in this case, when we talk about money, what does spend mean? When you are going to? Fiorella?
Gastar.
Yeah. In English, it will be like, is to use or use our money, our salary, buying things, buying clothes, buying houses, buying cars. That is spend. That you use your money on something or some things that you want to. Maybe you want a car, you want a house, you spend, you invest your money on it. You spend your money on it. That is what we're going to be discussing now. My question is for you. Are you a spender or a saver? Do you like to spend money or save money? I want you to be honest. Do you like to save money or to spend money? Omar, are you a spender or saver person? This is the quiz I want you to do together. All right, we're gonna do this together. Grab your pen or pencil, please. And this quiz is for you. All right, you're gonna just do this together. Read each number and you choose A, B, or C. And then you're going to realize what kind of person you are, a spender or a saver person. So listen, let me read them one by one and you choose, okay? This should be personally. If I see something I really like on sale, what do you do? A, B, or C? All right, 2. If I feel a bit down means if you feel sad or frustrated or worried, what do? You go shopping, you go for an ice cream, you check your saving account, and you start spending money. You said, it always make me feel happy. All right. What about 3? If I see something in a store this weekend that I really want but can't afford, what do? 4, when my phone stopped working, what do? A, B, or C? 1 minute. Read each number and choose according to your own opinion or own ideas. Go. And then you will realize if you are a saver or a spender. Think about it. Let's suppose that you see something very nice in a store, but you can't afford it because you don't have much money. What do? Do you borrow money from a friend? Do you save up until you can afford it? Or you just buy it with your credit card? So this quiz is for us to realize what kind of person we are in terms of saving money. Spender is someone who likes to buy many things, someone who doesn't like to save money. But a saver is someone, how do we call these people who like to save money and they don't want to spend on anything? How do you say tacaño in English? 1 point. Any idea? How do you say tacaño in English? You know, saver people are tacaños, are called like this too. Maybe it's like sting. Look at it in your dictionary. How do you say this word in English? Sting.
Stingy.
Stingy, right? That is one. You know, most people nowadays are called stingy, not because we don't want to pay. It's because we want to save money. Are you a stingy person? Yes or no? Are you considered like that? So maybe you want to reflect about this one. True. Now let's keep moving and let's move on. And we're going to talk about money. When we talk about money, there are some phrases that we should know. And then one of them were stingy. Stingy is that word that we're going to be discussing later on. Okay, can you please go to this page? 143. Money, words, money, something with this one. Okay. 143, please. 143. So here we have some words related to this, like credit card and wealthy, broke, coins, saving account, cash, bills, loan, mortgage, a mortgage. This is a mortgage, taxes, ATM, and save up. Okay, I'm going to just to read this sentence and complete using this word that you have in the box. If you see a new word, look in your dictionary or just ask me out. Wealthy, wealthy. What does wealthy mean? Any idea? Wealthy. Let me read this one. Wealthy. What does wealthy mean? It's similar to say rich. Wealthy, someone who is rich, someone who has a lot of money, that is wealthy. Yeah, what about the others? I don't know, maybe mortgage. Do you know what mortgage means? Mortgage. Any idea? Write it down. Mortgage. It's like in Spanish we called hipoteca. Yeah, that's it. Mortgage. That's a mortgage. What does mortgage mean? All right, read them once by one and then we just complete. Loan. What does loan mean? You go to the bank and you loan money. Bills. What are bills? Bills are what you need to pay every month. Each month you pay bills like water, you pay lights, you pay gas. So those are the bills that you pay each month. You pay the internet, you pay Wi-Fi, you pay, I don't know, maybe your cable. That's bills. Taxes. Hey, we pay taxes every year or each year. ATM, do you know what an ATM is? It's an automatic machine where you take out money, where you withdraw money. Save up is to save up. That's the action that you just don't spend and you start save up money. You save your money. You put your money into a bank account, or you save your money in your closet or under your bed. That's save up. Okay, listen everybody. When you listen and check your answers, pay attention.
1. Credit card, cash. 2. Save up, savings account. 3. Bills. 4. Loan, mortgage. 5. Wealthy. 6. Taxes. 7. Coins. 8. Broke. 9. ATM.
Okay, clear. So let me read them once again. These words are called like this: credit card and cash. So what does it mean? Credit card. We already know what is credit card, and everybody has a credit card and what we use for. Maybe we don't want to have money in cash. Cash is what you have on your wallet. That's cash. But when you put your money into a bank account and then you receive a credit card, and you can pay using your credit card, but you don't pay in cash. That's why when you go and visit a restaurant, most people are gonna say, I'm gonna ask you, do you want to pay by credit card or with cash? Or in cash, yeah? So there's a different things that you can talk about this one too. Okay, another one, and save up. What does save up mean? Or saving account. What does it mean? If you just go back to the second sentences, I want to save up for a car. I mean that you are going to make money. You are going to put all your money away. You're going to put your money down so you can put into your saving account. What comes next? Bills. As I said before, I needed $100. Let's like this. I went to the bank. They gave me $20 bills. So what does it mean? Bills is what you need to pay each month, right? What about loan and mortgage? As I said before, a loan is when you go to the bank and you ask these bankers to give you money, but you need to pay for it. Maybe you don't have enough money to buy a car. You don't have enough money to buy a house. So you go to the bank and you get a loan. You get a loan from the bank. Listen, but then what happened if you don't pay it? Your house, your car, I'm gonna be like this one. It's gonna be a mortgage to buy my apartment. It's gonna be like this one too. So you need to be careful. You need to be careful when you loan money from the bank. And then we have wealthy. Wealthy, as I said, is similar to say rich. You say my uncle is very wealthy. He has 4 houses, 6 cars, and a boat. That's me. You say my uncle, he is rich. Taxes, as I said, we pay taxes for what we have, for our houses, our parcels, our cars, our vehicles, and everything. That's tax. You pay taxes for everything that you have in your house or where you live. And coins, and what you can see in the picture, coins or penny, we call it this penny, or broke. What about broke? Broke is when you don't have any money with you, that you don't have any money left. You say, oh, whoa, I am broke. I don't have any money with me. Yes, it's similar to say I am poor, but poor is a bit different. Broke is when you finish, you spend too much money on something and then you didn't have anything. An ATM. What is an ATM? In English, we call automatic machine. Automatic machine is where you go to these machines and you withdraw money. That's why you need your credit card too. So don't forget about this word that you're going to be using later on. Now let's go and let's focus on these words and that we're going to be discussing now, like this. We have more sentences and I want you to use these words: lend, pay, spend, and take or borrow, waste, and everything. Can you try to complete it and we check? You need to use these words that are in the box. For example, I don't like to lend money. Lend money from friends, to friends, our friends. What will you say? Any idea? What will you say? To friends. I don't like to lend money to friends. Maybe you don't like to lend money to friends because they don't give you back. What about number 2? Can I pay? Do we say with or in or on?
On.
Are you sure?
By credit
Bye.
card.
Pay by credit card. That is the preposition that we use. Pay by credit card. We don't say pay on or pay to. We say or pay in or pay with. See, or we say pay by credit card. Number 3, my sister and her husband usually spend over
4 clothes every month.
On clothes every month.
on clothes every month. So you can say I spend a lot of money on clothes. Number 4, how much will you pay
Or
Back.
as one.
for? How much would you pay for it? For a second-hand car, second-hand clothes, second-hand things. Yeah, right. Number 5, I went to the ATM to take
Take out some money.
we say take out, write it down.
Out.
Take out some money. Or as I said before, and you can say like this, withdraw, ¿no? Como es like this, retirar también, podemos decir así, withdraw or take out. You can say like this, yeah? So you go to an automatic machine to withdraw or to take out some money. Exactly, withdraw, or you can say take out, no, retirar dinero. That's right. Number 6, can I borrow $20 from you? Yeah, can I borrow $20 from you until tomorrow? All right. What about 7? Martin shouldn't waste so much money
On lottery ticket.
on lottery tickets. What about number 8? Could you pay
Back.
pay this one? Yeah, pay back. Could you pay back and the money you owe me? You need to pay the money I lend you. So you owe me. All right, number 9. I pay $50 into a saving account for my grandchildren every month. Now, the question is this. Maybe you may wonder, but what are the differences between? Because you need to know the difference between these two words, between lend and borrow. So what's the difference between lend and borrow? Any idea? Here it says, I don't like to lend money to friends. And then you have another one. Can I borrow $20 from you until tomorrow? What are the differences between lend and borrow? Las dos palabras hacen referencia a prestar dinero. Pero ¿cuáles son las diferencias? What are the differences? I mean in English, of course. What are the differences between lend and borrow? Here's the difference. Or Fiorella, you got the answer?
I think lend is for other people and borrow is for me.
Yes, right. So lend is to give money, right? Is to listen. What is one? Lend is to give, and borrow is to receive. Yeah, right. So you can use lend. Estas dos palabritas no solo lo usamos para hablar sobre dinero, también para hablar sobre otras cosas. You can say, can you lend me your phone, please? Right? Can you lend me your phone? You say, can I borrow your pencil, please? Can I borrow your books, please? Right? So lend is that you are going to give someone to something. And borrow is when you are going to receive something from someone. Those are the differences. So when somebody asks you, Emma, you may know how to answer this. Okay, that's the difference between lend and give. I mean, lend and borrow. Borrow money, lend money. Do you lend money to other people? Do you like to lend money to other people? No? Or maybe you like to borrow money from other people? Yeah, true. Now let's go back, please. Any questions so far? Any comments? Now, we are going to practice. Let's start, yes, because I would like to hear your own comment about money. Do you like to spend money? You like to save up money? And so on. Let's go back, please. Go back to point number 2 in your books. This one. And okay, point number 2. This question are going to be answered by each one of you, and you are going to just answer this question individually. Okay, everybody, please be ready. I'm going to read 1 minute for you to read each question, and please think of one answer. Okay, let me give you 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes for you to read and think of one answer for each question. Let me read them for you. Have you ever wasted money on something you never used? If you say yes, you need to explain your answers. 2, would you prefer to be broke and happy or wealthy and unhappy? Why? You need to explain. 3, when you lend some money, how long do you give him or her to pay you back? 4, if you need to borrow money from someone, who do you ask and why? Explain your answers. 5, when do you take money out and pay with cash? When do you prefer to pay with a card? Explain your answers. 6, what would you like to spend your savings on? Oh, maybe you say I would like to spend my savings on a new car. Let's spend my savings on a new bicycle. You know, right now I am saving up money for a new bicycle, but hopefully I can buy it at the end of this month. At the end of this trimester, I am planning to buy a new bicycle. So what about you? What would you like to spend your savings on? 2 minutes, and then we start discussing together. All right, go. Hello. Okay, ready? Okay, who wants to be the first one? Who wants to be the first one? You know, volunteers are always well rewarded. All right. Let's start with, okay, I'm going to start with the last question. And I think I'm going to choose someone. All right, let's go with Alberto. Hello, mister. The question is for you, this one. What would you like to spend your savings on and why?
Saving in Spanish is ahorros.
Exactly, ahorros. So what would you like to spend your savings on? Houses, cars, bicycles, clothes, I don't know. On what would you like to spend your savings on?
I like spending my savings in travel, organized travel, many times. I like travel. Normally, spend my savings in this.
Traveling. I didn't thought about that. I mean, I didn't think about that you can spend your savings traveling, going on vacation, or take wonderful vacation. Yeah. Alberto, are you saving up money for it?
Now?
Yeah.
Or
not yet?
1 month ago, I traveled. Yeah, so I don't save for now.
So you spend your savings last month. All right. Okay, Alberto, you choose another classmate and ask one of the questions that you have right there. So you choose a classmate. Okay, everybody, please be ready. You can choose one of these questions to ask one of your classmates. Be ready, everybody. If you don't answer, you lose 1 point. So, Alberto, you choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. You ask one of them. Choose and ask your classmates.
Question 4.
You choose a name.
Excuse me?
You choose a name. Who are you going to?
Sindel Arteaga.
No. What's the question? Ask the question, Alberto. Ask her the question.
Yeah. If you need to borrow money from someone, who do you ask and why?
That is a good question.
I asked my best friend if she can lend it to me. Or my mom, my parents. Yeah, solo.
Yeah, why do you ask your parents for money?
Because they are always help me.
Yeah. All right. That's right. Because you trust them. And also, you don't pay when you borrow money from a bank. What is it that you have to pay each month? You have to pay
Can you repeat that? My internet is very bad.
When you borrow money from the banks, what do you have to do next? You have to pay. extra money, like a percentage of what you borrow money. But if you borrow money from your mom, you don't have to pay anything, just the money she lent you. But if you borrow money from the bank, you have to pay an extra amount of money. It will depend on the amount of money you borrow there. So that will be that estimated. That's why we prefer to lend or borrow money from our relatives or parents, because we don't pay, how do we say? Yeah, this is going to be free. Okay, Cinda, thank you. Now continue. Choose another name and ask one of the following questions right there. Be ready, everybody. Okay, continue, Cinda. You choose a name and ask another question.
Yeah. Nicole. The question number 2. Would you prefer to be broke and happy or wealthy and unhappy?
That is a good question.
Okay, I prefer to be broke and happy. Well, of course, money is very necessary, but happiness is more important for your health.
That is a good choice, Nicole. To be broke and happy. But if you're rich and unhappy, no, that's frustrating, right? That is a good choice. Thank you, Nicole. Choose another name and ask one of the following questions.
Okay. Mary Terceros.
Hi.
Have you ever wasted money on something you never use?
That is a good question.
Yes, I have. I bought a cell phone case, but it damaged my cell phone. I never used the cell phone case.
And that is good. Okay, thank you, Mary. Continue, Mary. Choose another name and ask one of the following questions.
Fiorella. Fiorella. The number 4. If you need to borrow money from someone, who do you ask? Why?
Good question.
When I need to borrow money from someone, I ask to my sister, because I know that she always helps me in occasions that I need. She always being for me in all occasions.
Yes, thank you. Continue, Fiorella. Choose another name and a question.
Okay, Nisa. When you lend someone money, how long do you give him or her to pay you back?
When I lend someone money, how long do you give him to pay back? Okay. Personally, I never borrow money from someone. I don't like it.
Why you never borrow money from someone?
I think borrow money is say? I mean, for me, it's not isn't. Let's see. Mm, it's a. Okay, sorry. Gracias, Nicole. Es que mi micrófono estaba un poquito mal. Gracias. For me, borrow money is a bad thing because in my childhood, I saw my friends or my parents or next door neighbor fight because the money for me is like I mean it's like ay, no sé cómo decir, es como para mí es como un mal recuerdo prestar plata porque siempre causa problemas o peleas cuando la gente no paga.
I understand. You
Yes.
don't like to, or you wouldn't borrow or lend money because you have a bad experience.
Yes, I have bad experience with borrow money or lend money, so I don't like it.
I understand. I understand. That's why we're trying to be like, I say, no, I'm not gonna just be or trust because of this. I prefer to do it on my own way. Okay, that's good. Thanks for your comment. Very good. And that is all. Okay, we are going to start right here because I see you might be tired or maybe you're hungry. So let's start right here. How do you feel now? How are you feeling now? Gabriel, are you hungry? Are you happy? Are you sad, stressed, tired?
I'm so
Okay.
I'm hungry.
Everybody hungry now. Okay. Now, don't forget, this is what you are going to be reflecting on for next class. Can money bring us happiness? Why and why not? So this question, I want you to reflect, want to think of this and what do you think about, is it okay, is it good to be rich or not? Or do you think money can bring us happiness? Do you think having a lot of money can bring us happiness in our lives? Do you think we can be happy if we have a lot of money? Do you agree or disagree? So you are going to think of a very complete opinion or idea about this question, about this issue, okay? And we are going to discuss next class about this and where we are going to create a talk, a discussion, and one in class, and you are going to agree and disagree. Okay, so I expect that everybody has or create or think of a personal opinion about this question. Okay, and next, because we're going to still talking about money and shopping and everything. All right, that is all. Don't forget to upload your workbook from Unit 4 on Classroom and also on Richmond.